everybody, welcome to Kira with IBS, and I'm Kira and I have IBS. And before I get started, please like, please subscribe, and please know this is not medical advice. I am not a doctor, I am just a patient of IBS. I will be talking about me and my digestive system, and so if you're faint-hearted and don't want to hear words like poop and diarrhea, I don't know, maybe just stop the video now. Today I'm going to be talking about that second pain management technique that works for me. And this is also an over-the-counter medication. You can buy it at most US pharmacies. And that one is Pepto Bismol. Pepto Bismol comes in multiple forms, so it comes in liquid form, and if you don't like how it tastes, you can buy the pill form where you can just swallow it. And then if you really, really like how it tastes, you can actually buy the chewable and you can really just savor that Pepto Bismol flavor. I'm going to start with the positives of Pepto Bismol and when I take it. And then I'm going to be talking about the side effects and also the dangers of taking Pepto Bismol. So please stick around so you hear all the information. The first thing is that Pepto Bismol, as it says in the commercials, it helps with nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. The way it works is we don't know! One of the cool things is that Pepto Bismol comes from bismuth, and bismuth is a natural element on the periodic table of elements, and so in a way we evolved along with bismuth being in our atmosphere and in our food and soil and all that stuff. Sort of in the same way that lithium can help with mental illness, bismuth helps with digestion. With my own experience with Pepto Bismol, I want to start with this. With IBS, I want to make sure that whenever I'm putting any medication into my body, that I am not going to swing my stomach issues in the opposite direction. So what this means is that if I am having diarrhea, I don't want to take something that will then cause me constipation, where I will then be going back and forth between the two for the next couple weeks. Similarly, if my body needs to expel waste, whether that is out the top or the bottom, I don't want to stop it. My digestive system is smart and knows what it needs to do. Now, that being said, there is a lot of discomfort that can happen in the process, and that discomfort can sometimes lead us to believe something is worse than it is. And that's where Pepto Bismol comes into play. Oftentimes when I have indigestion, I will also feel nauseous or I will also feel heartburn. That can create a lot of discomfort and a lot of anxiety. So what I will do is take one dose of Pepto Bismol. 99% of the time it calms everything down and everything gets back on track. With upset stomach and diarrhea, I will take Pepto Bismol to slow the process of digestion down. And I want to make sure I do not slow it down so much that it halts and that I get constipation. What this might look like in my life, here are two scenarios. Some days I will defecate 5 or 6 times, and by the 6th or 7th time, it is a very soft stool coming out. At that point, I might say, yeah, I think my body's done enough for one day, and take 1 dose of Pepto Bismol. If I am sick and I'm having diarrhea, usually after the second instance of diarrhea, I will take Pepto Bismol to again try to slow things down. But my goal is not to stop my digestive system from working as it should. I personally rarely take Pepto Bismol 2 or 3 times in the same day, and I try to make sure not to take it more than once a week. That's a little bit of how I use it for pain management and to regulate my own IBS. I will now talk about the side effects. One of the side effects of Pepto Bismol is that the bismuth reacts with your saliva and it can turn your tongue black and it can turn your stool black. Now, really quickly, if you don't know about this, when you wipe and it's bright red, that means that there might be a tear at the very end of your digestive tract. However, if you wipe and it is fully black, your stool looks black, that tends to mean that there is intestinal bleeding, and that's really, really bad. To reiterate, Pepto Bismol will turn your stool black. That does not mean that you have intestinal bleeding. However, if you notice that you're having intestinal bleeding, don't take Pepto Bismol, go to a doctor. Another thing, on the packaging, it says that you can take it every 30 minutes to 60 minutes. You might have a stomach bug or be really sick and be taking it that often, and that's fine. But just know that you should not be taking Pepto Bismol for more than 24 hours because you are not supposed to be taking it all the time. In fact, there was a study in 1998 on a woman who came down with Alzheimer's after Pepto Bismol poisoning because she was taking so much every day for such a long period of time. Now, most people, if you're just taking Pepto Bismol, sometimes, once or twice a month, don't worry about it. As always, before starting any sort of over the counter medication, especially if you have IBS, you should be talking to your doctor. And the purpose of this video was just to tell you how I personally, as somebody with IBS, takes it and integrates it into my own pain management. Awesome. That is all I have to say in this video about Pepto Bismol. If you have more questions about Pepto Bismol, please put them in the comments below. And as always, like and subscribe. And I'm so happy you are here with me today. And I hope you learned something. Bye.